Hi, everybody. I feel like we've been gone forever. Um, I have been on jury duty, doing my civic duty, and so I could not do this show. And it's over. I'm glad it's over. I always had wanted to do it, and now I've done it, and now I don't ever want to do it again. So I'm done for that. Well, hello, everybody. Um, This is going to be a little bit shorter one. It's going to be about grief. So
We always say that.
we say that, yeah, it goes there.
It's
Okay,
probably,
but
yeah.
yeah, um, grief is really an interesting one. I think because it's not a bad emotion. We actually do need grief. Grief does serve a purpose. And so, one thing that I do want to talk about is the fact that we're not banishing grief. Okay, so you're not going to get 100% no grief after this. That's not how this one works. Um, I also thought I would go back really quick and just in case we have a lot of new people here, talk a little bit about what we're doing here. So, um, I learned how to read the Akashic Records a little bit ago. And one of the things that my Akashic Records masters encouraged me to do is to use the Akashic Records to heal. Um, how they started it with me is they started with ancestral healing, like going back and healing the ancestors that are mine. And then they slowly started growing this idea of how to use the Akashic Records to heal. That doesn't mean this is the only way to heal. Absolutely not. There's Reiki, there's prayer, there's all sorts of other ways to heal. This is just one way. And if it works for you, I'm really happy. Um, your Akashic Records are yours and yours alone. They actually, a lot of people imagine they're in some grand library. And if you want to imagine them that way, that's fine. But what they really are is they're in your quantum field. And I have my hands here because they kind of hang out about here. At least this is where I feel them in my crown chakra area. They just kind of hang out there. They kind of make me feel all tingly and sometimes I feel like I have a weight on my head. Sometimes I see sparkles. Um, Sometimes nothing. But that's kind of where I see them, where they hang out, and they have just given me the task of healing something that they give to me. So I just so you know, I don't do the healing. I'm just the conduit for the healing. They just tell me. So usually, what happens is they tell me on a Sunday what they're going to heal, what they want to heal. And so, like last week, they didn't tell me anything, so we didn't have a show. But they tell me on Sunday, and on that Sunday, they usually then give me a little explanation of why this is important. And then on Tuesday morning, they tell me how they're going to do it. Are we going to clear things? Are we going to do a healing prayer? Are they going to use light? Are they going to use energy? What they're going to do. And so I got all that today. I got it on Sunday and today. And so it's all about grief today. Now, Jean, I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I just want to put up one of the first banners that this is the Akashic Healing Series, that there are many more and many other state or many other areas that we have gone through, like jealousy, and there's a couple of other ones. I don't have them right in front of me, but they were all really very powerful and important and interesting. So it's not necessary, but it does help if you do go back and watch some of the other ones. It really just makes it a whole you know, class, so to speak, or a whole compartment
Yeah.
of it.
And you can pick and choose. If you feel like you have problems with anxiety, I know there's one on anxiety. There's a bunch of different things. You can go back and watch them if you want, because this is participatory. Whether you are here now in the live or if you watch it later in the replay, it's fine. You can do it either way. And by participatory, what I mean is that what I've noticed as I was doing this for myself and I was doing it with my family. So my guides had asked me, like when I was healing a certain family line, they would say, ask your brother to help you, ask your sister to help you. And even though some of my family are not spiritual in any way, they would, if I asked them, they'd say yes. And then what I noticed is that they would get words. So when it's time to clear the junk away, the bad stuff, they suddenly words would appear in their head, and they would say, Terry, I don't know why, but I keep hearing the word, you know, whatever the word was. And so that may happen to you. And if so, I would like you to go ahead and if you're here live, put it in the chat. Um, or put it in the comments if you're watching on the replay, because it adds to the prayer. And even though you could say that to yourself, it does help us know if the people like this and if they're participating or not. The other thing is that I needed to tell you is the Akashic records are your records alone. I cannot break into your records and read them or do anything, and nobody else can either. I have to have your permission to do this. And that's why we also call this participatory. And as Jean just had up a second ago, this is a group healing. And in order to take part in it, we'd like you to type yes in the comments or yes in the chat to just say yes, your records can be opened. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say a prayer of protection, and then we'll do some deep breathing after that, and kind of relaxation, and then I will say the key, and we'll go in and do it. So, okay, let's get on with this, or what does our friend say? She says, "Let's get this buggy going. Let's get this buggy rolling." So, okay, so we're going to go to the prayer of protection. Okay, so it doesn't hurt to take the deep breaths anytime. So go ahead and take a deep breath, relax. We are surrounded by the pure white light of divine source. We connect ourselves to Metatron's grid of opalescent or rainbow light to more directly connect us to our higher selves. We ask Archangel Michael to protect and guide us as we call forth all of our angels, guides, beings of light, and Akashic Records masters to assist us now to receive information of the highest truth, the highest frequency of light and love, allowing us to receive exactly what we need for our greatest good and the greatest good of humanity. And so it is. Okay. So I'm going to say the key. So this would be a really good time to go ahead and say, yeah. Oh, my. Sorry, I had my screen wrong. I didn't see how many people were here. Wow. Hi, everybody. Okay, so let's just take a few deep breaths. So we're going to do some deep breathing. I'm going to have you really focus your attention in your crown chakra area. You might experience heaviness or what I call the heavy fur hat. You could feel lightness and tingles, or you could feel nothing at all. It doesn't matter. But just go ahead and kind of bring your attention there, and then we're going to go ahead and take some deep breaths. So I want you to take a breath in, and you can breathe on your own. Don't wait for me. Hold it for a second, and then let it out. You let it out longer than you took it in. And that tells your body to calm down, to be calm. There's no lions or tigers chasing you right now. Okay, so concentrate in your chakra area. We open ourselves to the light. And with this light, we open ourselves to our truth. And with this light, we open ourselves to our soul's purpose. And with this light, we open ourselves to be guided towards our highest good and the highest good of all in divine love. And so the people watching this live and on the replay are given the truth to best serve them on their healing journey into the love and acceptance that is most beneficial for them at this moment. I have to say it silently a moment. And with this light and guidance, we unlock the energy field of the people watching live and the people watching on the replay to receive the record of their soul. So when my Akashic Records masters selected the subject of grief, they always give me a little bit about it. And so the very first thing I need to tell you is this is not a bad emotion. Grief, you need grief. It is part of your human condition. And the grief helps you in so many ways. So what we're really healing today probably is when you get stuck, when it's not serving you. So they let me know that grief occurs for many reasons, and that the most reasons are love, maybe a loss of or grieving of love, loss of a loved one, loss of life expectations, loss of a job, loss of so many circumstances in your life, or even generational grief, where maybe your family all grieves for people that were lost maybe some time ago, maybe in World War II or something, where this generational in nature. And that generational grief can kind of help in a tribal sort of way that binds people together. But grief in oversupply, when there's too much grief, can hurt us. So they told me what it does is it stops growth, that you have a much harder time growing, both spiritually and in your day-to-day life. It creates barriers, but they were quick to kind of change that one a little bit. That yes, it does create barriers, but we create the barriers because we don't want to feel the grief. And it diminishes trust. Also, generational grief, and when it's in oversupply, can also make a lot of problems. It can cause a drag on your life, where that you are grieving something that you didn't even experience, you weren't even part of, and it may cause you then to not operate at the very best way that you could. So they also said that grief in its proper place, used properly, where you don't get stuck in it, where is that it magnifies love, because you knew love. You're grieving the loss of love. It magnifies growth of our soul and our emotions because you experienced those things. You experienced it. You came through. You learned from it. And this is an interesting one because I did not think that this was necessarily part of it. They said it magnifies manifestation, the ability to manifest, because now you know what you want and what you don't want. So you can be a little bit more precise in your ability to manifest. So, with all of that in mind about grief, we can get to doing it. So this time they are going to change a little bit how we do it. So a lot of you have been here and you know that they tend to show me an energetic hand, and they show pulling out these unwanted energies like little spider webs or energetic spider webs that almost look like electricity. And they usually go to the 0 point, meaning when your soul was created, and they draw it out. So the problem with grief, though, is all of the generations, all of your ancestors, all of your past lives, all of it is too much grief. Okay, there's a lot. It would take me hours to watch them pull this out. So they told me that that was really kind of unnecessary to do it that long. And so what they're going to do is they're only going to go 4 generations back, because right now, I mean, you technically might be able to have 5 generations alive right now, but 4 generations is about what you have um, to go back to. And this will allow them, it'll allow it to be a lighter load. There won't be as much grief that they have to pull out. But what they will do this time is they're going to be healing your ancestors at the same time they're pulling out of the grief and the things that harmed them. And then they're going to clear that, and then they're going to do a healing prayer. But this time, the healing prayer again is different, where it's very interactive this time. You're going to use your own hands to do part of this healing. So when we get there, I'll tell you how to hold your hands depending on the kind of grief you're experiencing. Okay? Okay, so dear Akashic Records, please begin the healing of grief. Okay. So now I see the hand, the energetic hand, going back just 4 generations. They are doing this because the 4 generations still may have an effect on you and also may even be alive. So, believe it or not, this is not just your healing. This is possibly your mother's healing, your grandmother's healing, if they're still here, your great grandmother's healing. So, this is going to be kind of interesting that they're also trying to heal people who are here now, even not participating right now. So the hand goes back 4 generations, and I see it start to pull the energetic webs of grief out of the lives. But in this case, I see it like pull for like a generation, and then I see them go back and then kind of put light. It's like a little ball of sparkly light, put it into that generation. And what they told me beforehand is they would be doing that to heal the generation, the person in that generational spot, to put healing in as they're drawing out. So it's not just you getting healed. And then they go forward, they pull through the 3rd generation, and then put the light, the healing light, into that generation. And then I see them pull the grief out again through the 2nd generation. and then put the healing light into that generation. And now I see them coming to you, to your generation, the first generation. So this is normally where I would see in this incarnation, and I would normally see it kind of, your life kind of like a wheel, or it looks like tuck and roll upholstery to me almost, and it can turn. And at the ends of this, there's like a golden tree of life in there, because I got to look at it from the front side once. And this represents the lives that you might be living right now, the dimensional lives. But this time, while I can see that in the background, they're showing me a human form that represents you in just it's kind of outlined in light. It looks like a body, it's outlined in light. And so this represents you. And now they draw out the unwanted energy from this incarnation now. And what I notice is that the body of light that represents you is getting lighter in color as they're pulling out these unwanted energies. It gets a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter. And they pull out the grief, the unwanted grief, the overactive grief, and they anchor it at the end of this incarnation. Okay. So that wasn't so hard to do. So now we're going to do the clearing prayer. So this is the time to go ahead, and if either you know or they have put words in your head about the bad effects of grief that you want cleared. If you are mired in grief, if you are stuck in grief, this is a time to put it in. This is a time to add your words into the chat, and Jean will read them at the proper time. So go ahead and add your words of grief and how grief has harmed you. And we're going to clear that. Okay. So once again, as we get ready to do this, remember, it's not just my Akashic Records masters doing this healing. We're using yours as well. And so once again, I want you to put your attention on your crown chakra. I want you to add the words that occur to you about grief, how grief has affected you in a negative way. And if something occurs to you later, you can add it later. It's okay. It's going to work. They know you, and they are completely aware of what you want healed. Okay, so I'm going to take a few deep breaths again. I'm going to concentrate in the chakra area. So, dear Akashic Records masters, for the people participating in this broadcast, both in live and in the replay, we request an immediate and total clearing concerning grief and the challenges it causes in our life. We request a clearing of all problems brought on by grief, such as, and there's a few that I put down here: diminished growth, the construction of barriers, both personal and spiritual, fear, bad decisions, lack of trust.
Do you want me to add it now?
Yes, go ahead. I was going to add vulnerability and feelings of unworthiness. Go ahead.
Regret, frustration, the grief yet to come, anticipating, afraid to be happy, afraid to allow ourselves to be happy, doubt of what we thought we knew, feeling less than, and sad, pain
Uh,
of generational mental illness, sadness, fear, betrayal, cruelty, rage. Grief makes it hard to breathe. It numbs joy. It's exhausting. I'm tired all the time. Pain. Will I ever get past this? Trauma.
for me, I'm going to add self-indulgent behavior, wallowing. So, dear Akashic Records masters, clear us of any anything where grief prevents a true and clear positive connection to source, to allow for a complete healing and deep forgiveness of ourselves and others, restoring each person's spiritual knowing and connection to source. I ask that grief and the related problems be healed in all lives, all dimensions, all cellular structures, all space and time, in the space between lives, in all astral lives, and in all timelines for the highest good of each person listening and humanity. I ask that grief be cleared of its power to damage us. Each person will remember that all is well with their soul. All is well with our souls. Grief will hold no power, and we will acknowledge the emotion and learn from it, but it will have no hold on our souls. New encounters of grief will be met with love and compassion for our soul and our true purpose. This clearing and healing will be ongoing in this life and into the future. I ask now that we restore each person to the highest timeline, to the being they were always meant to be, to facilitate their steps to spiritual freedom for the highest good of each participant and humanity. Beloved Akashic Records masters, thank you. Okay. So now that they've cleared it, they want to heal it. They want to heal the thing, how that grief has hurt you. Okay, so back in my vision, once again, I'm looking at this incarnation and I'm seeing the 4 generations before to the left as well. And remember, they installed a little light into each of the generations. And your incarnation is just all lit up. And I see the hand go back to the other generations and activate the light. And I see each life starting to light up, to just fill with light. And if I take a little bit of a closer look, it almost looks like they're polishing the soul. Like the soul looks gold to me, and it's like they're polishing it. They're lighting it up and polishing it to install this healing, to remove the hurts of grief. to allow them to heal, to be clean again, to be able to move forward in confidence. And then I see you, and now they're going to do the healing of you. And so they've given me some instructions here. If you have regular grief, like what you would consider regular grief, just what they want you to do is as they're doing this healing, they want you to put your hands on your head. Just, however you want, however comfortable it is, use your hands. If that your grief is more of a depressive nature, that is following you, that is dragging you down, that is not allowing your soul to be as light as it should, they want you to take two hands and place it on your heart. Sorry, I'm a little short here. Put your hands on your chest. Maybe one on your upper heart and one on your lower heart area. But put two hands on your chest as we do this. And then if that it's a life event, like you've just lost somebody you dearly love, you've lost a job, you've lost, there's some bit of loss to this grief. Or if you are a very strong empath and you feel everybody's grief, they want you to do something a little different. If you feel like you're in that category, they want you to move your hands. They want you to put them on your crown, put them on your throat, put them on your heart. And they want you to kind of keep it moving. Keep it moving as the healing's going. If you just want 1, 2, 3, however you want to do it, you use your hands. Right now, you have healing hands. Okay, so now the Akashic Records Masters are showing me you in the form of light. I can see like an outline of your body. I can see their hands. Instead of just one hand, I usually just see one hand. I'm seeing two hands. And the hands are going to move throughout your body, mostly from your crown chakra, your third eye, your throat, and your heart, and somewhat in the solar plexus area. So I see them put their hands on your head. And I see them transmitting light out of their hands. So try to relax, open up, and receive the healing light. Let the light fill your crown chakra. Let it start filling your whole body, just slowly going down. The light entering your third eye. Yeah, light entering your throat chakra. The light entering your heart. The light entering your solar plexus. And so on, all the way down through your body. And see your body fill up with this light, the same light that they just put in the generations in front of you. Let this light fill you up. And now I see that they're putting this light in you. And even though I don't see their hands moving, it's as if they're polishing your soul just a little bit too. To remind you that your purpose here is to love, learn, and grow. That you are strong, that you know grief, but it does no longer overwhelms you. You now are thankful that you've loved, that you've lived, that you become wise, I didn't expect that. And now I see that they're kind of beaming a green light into the body of wisdom. So we might know the difference between good grief and bad grief. So we might know how to heal our own selves. So now, with this healing light, I ask Akashic Records Masters, and each person's Akashic Records Masters that is putting the light into their charge, the person they take care of. I ask now to have each one of us restored to the highest timeline that we were always meant to be. Restore us back to the highest timeline, allowing us to live our lives fully, all the way to exactly what we're supposed to be. Dear Akashic Records Masters, I thank you. Okay.
That was beautiful.
Whew. Wow, that one's very tingly all over instead of just in one place. So I do want to mention something that what I also have noticed from these is that um, these healings, I've noticed that they kind of culminate in about 2 weeks. Like it starts now, but it kind of you almost don't feel the effects until about 2 weeks. So let that sit a bit with you, and yeah,
It's gentle, it's gradual, it's unexpected. Did you want them to add words of
I do. Yes, if anyone ever experienced those words of healing, what they felt healed, I would love to hear those. And if it's something you wanted healed, go ahead. Let's while we have not closed, let's do it. So, dear Akashic Records Masters, the people in the audience are going to add the words you've given them and add words that they want healed, how they want it healed. Okay. I think we kind of skipped over that a little too fast. I did, sorry.
That's okay. I'll just read mine out. I was trying to type it, but I can't quite type it. I don't know why. What I was feeling when you were going through the healing is that we'll be gaining some patience for ourselves, and we'll be regaining some faith that we lost along the way from the tragedy and the trauma. We'll be regaining our confidence that the next step forward will not be another trauma. It's really very uh, it changes your reality. It changes everything that you once knew. And this healing, I felt like will start gradually adding back in a little bit more confidence each step of the way. And to soften the intense sensitivity that we have while we're going through the expected stages of grieving, and for have patience for have however long that may take us. Everybody is different. Every situation is different. To gain understanding of the situation and how we're feeling, and and to take care of ourselves, to gain perspective on the bigger picture, like Terry said, that we're here for an experience, and to let go, to let them go, to let go the job that you lost, to let go the house that was burned down, to let go of the relationship that you once had. And it's time, it's that transitional, it is painful and difficult to go through that transition, but to keep moving forward through it, because on the other side is where the new adventure will be. To let go of uh, and release that holding on to that resistance of whatever it is that we are denying, um, and acceptance, which is um, understanding and perspective. Um, and I did want to just add real quick that there are 5 stages, and like Terry said, there's grief is a normal human experience that we all go through when we have a loss of a job, a loss of a pet, a loss of a loved one, a loss of a lover, a loss of a home, whatever that might be. We experience grief in so many different ways, and it's typical to have like 5 stages of grief, which is denial. Anger, and a lot of people stay stuck in that anger, the bargaining, um, or trying to rewrite what happened, and then the depression. We carry this heavy burden on ourselves because we feel as though if we don't carry this burden, then that means we may not have loved it or loved them or loved enough, and that we need to carry this with us. And then acceptance is where we come to on the other side. It's never uh, fully resolved or goes away. It just is. It's just moved into a way that is a little bit easier to. Uh, I don't know how to. A little bit easier to carry. A little bit easier to understand, and it almost like lifts. It lifts that. When somebody was saying that their loved one was missing, um, a, a family member, a grandfather that passed, and it was because of they were angry and couldn't get past this anger, and it was that he was struggling with his own identity because the grandfather was a reflection to his identity. And now he doesn't know who to look to or where to go to find to reflect his own image back to him. And it causes him doubt, it causes him anger, it causes him uncertainty, and it is that's just one example. But was there anything else, Terry, that you wanted to add with that?
I wanted to add that Sherry said peace. She wants to add in peace to the prayer. And okay. Um, why don't I close real quick, and then I wanted to talk about one more thing. Let me close. As always, I I will close your Akashic records to myself and to anyone else, but I will always leave in the option if you want to keep your Akashic records open to you, then you can keep the conversation going with the Akashic Records masters. So I would like to close by thanking the light for the truth. I would like to close by thanking the light for the healing energy. I would like to close by thanking the light for the guidance and compassion towards our soul's purpose. And with this, I lock the records of the people watching live and the people on the replay to me and to anyone else, but I leave them open to themselves should they want to keep talking. The records are now closed. Okay. Jean, one of the things that you told me as we were kind of chatting beforehand is that you recently had a reading where somebody was experiencing very, very deep grief, and their spirit guides or loved one on the other side was so kind to give them an explanation or to heal them. Could you tell us about that?
Um, it was it the one that it was how they were pulling
Yes,
away the
yes.
physicalness. They the loved one was explaining that grieving is an actual physical sensation here in this world for humanity, for humans. And I think, pets also go through grieving, but it's an energetic pulling away or disconnection of that physical energy from our loved one who is no longer here, even though they may have lived in another state for the last 10 years. It's knowing that their energy is no longer on this earth and their energy has transcended. It's that it's an actual physical pulling away of energy. And just think of them being part of your auric field and that energy being pulled away and then maybe having like a hole or a tear in that auric field. It is an actual physical and energetic change within our energy within the human. And so that we need to take care of ourselves and repair and to regain our identity first, and also our going through the stages of anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, to work on coming back out of and regaining our own I don't want to say independence, but our new reality. Let me see, I had some things here. Regrouping, re-imaging, new normal. It's not ever that understanding that it'll never be like it used to be, and that is really, really hard to uh, to accept, because each step that we take, it'll never be the same again. Like, it's something's changed forever. Um, so retraining ourselves, regrouping, re-imaging, new normal, and a different way of carrying the tragedy. Maybe honor them with a prominent place in your home with a picture and maybe some things that they loved around it, or maybe naming something in their name, or planting a tree, or a park bench, or starting a
Mhm.
charity, something where you can honor their existence or their energy here on this earth and how much they meant to you. This is really good to place this honor that we want to feel, and we can't feel the grief enough to honor them. So if we do an action, something outside, even making a blanket with all of their old clothes, or making a pillow with one of their old shirts, something that you can do that's a more of a physical and an action based.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, Teresa, really, she's getting that. She says, "Yes, I have a daughter-sized hole in me." Yeah, that's yeah, thank you. They do that in Japan. Sometimes when I broadcast when I'm in Japan, the particular bedroom I'm in has the family altar in it, and so we have a picture of my husband's father up, and we have a singing bowl on a very pretty little poof, and we light incense. There's a little incense pot in front of him, and so um, from time to time, I stop, and he has his picture up. Stop, and you put your hands together like this with a little clap, and then you pray. And so I will do that and thank him for my husband. That's what I do.
And what I was getting while you were saying that, it's a way of expressing the honor and expressing ourselves so that we don't hold it. You need to express it and let it out in some way, shape, or form, some some ritual, some ceremony, some action. So
Mhm.
expressing that is helpful
Mhm.
to some, but it's everybody grieves differently, and it's you can't look at somebody who had the same parents as you did and expect them to grieve the same way that you do. And it's each a husband and wife might grieve differently for their child that they lost, even though it's both of your child. An individual thing, and it takes as long as it takes, and to um, work on that exterior type of honoring. I think
Mhm.
that's really important.
Well, I kind of like what Laurie Hunsinger said. She said her high heart had a huge energy surge, um, and she felt as if joy, contentment, and happiness and hope could finally enter. So that's another thing. When you deal with the grief, it gives an opening then for more to come. And I agree with her. She said one more thing that I really agree with. This healing was soft and gentle. Because remember, grief is not bad. It's not a bad thing. It just kind of hurts us when there's too much or it won't go away fast or we don't know how to deal with it. So I love that it was soft and gentle. Um, please, because this healing did not just was not just you. It was the generations in front of you, just directly in front of you. I think, I don't think you need to tell them about this or like, guess what, mom, you got healed yesterday too, but check in and see how they feel a little bit and check in with yourself too as this goes on. So I hope that helps everybody. And now we're about to make it long, so we probably should just uh, okay. So, everybody, have a great time today. Have a great rest of your day. At least where I'm at, it's very sunny, very nice. Go out and appreciate the sunshine and have some good times. And um, I like what Teresa Ford just said. She says she thinks it moved forward to her son and son-in-law and grandson too. And it can. If that's how it appeared to you, that is the truth too. So, okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope I'll see you again next Tuesday at 3.
Take care, everybody. Thanks, Terry.
So, you're welcome.